Hi everyone. So, some of you may have seen, but I've rebranded my Facebook page that has a very small amount of people that I've invited to see it over the past few months. So I've really enjoyed kind of sharing some writing on there over the last couple of months, and I know a few people have seen it and liked it. But I've kind of been getting really into tarot, and it seems to work quite well in that the messages are quite aligned with the kind of writing that I do, but I guess I didn't want to put that out in the world and share that with people, because some people that see this page, that's not part of their interest or their belief system, and I get that. But then I kind of I'm really enjoying doing it. And last week I had the wonderful, wonderful experience of doing some tarot readings for a couple of beautiful ladies in the States, and getting some really positive feedback on that. And that just really, it really made me think how much I really enjoy doing that and want to do more of it, because it feels good to me. And the messages seem to be helpful for other people as well. And so yeah, that's behind that's the reason behind the kind of changing of the title of this wee Facebook page, because from now on I'm going to do a lot more kind of tarot readings and stuff, and share that on this page, and teach about the tarot and how to study it and how to learn it and how to trust your own intuition and all that sort of stuff. As well as, like, I will definitely continue the writing. I kind of feel like, I just need to get over myself. That's the point I'm trying to make, is that, I haven't been acting on my own intuition. I've kind of been like, oh, but that's scary. That's like putting myself out in the world. What if people don't like it? What if they think that's all woo-woo? Whatever. And I'm sure people will. And that's also okay, because I'm sure other people will find this page and like it. And Anyway, I'm gonna do something. Well, for the first time on this page, I'm going to be doing a video right now, which is just going to pull a few tarot cards for anybody that watches this and sees this in the next week. And it's just going to be sort of a energy reading, like a general heads up of kind of energy that may be around us this week, and what we can kind of expect, and how we can prepare ourselves to deal with that kind of stuff. Use your own judgment, like if the cards don't seem to resonate, if they seem completely outlandish and not at all related to your situation, the message is obviously not for you. If it makes you think of things as I talk and share whatever cards come out, then there's probably something in there for you. So never let somebody else kind of be like, oh, this has to be for you. That's just silliness. I'm not a fan of that kind of approach. So decks, for those people that are interested, this is the Universal Wisdom Oracle cards by Tony Carmine Ciliano, and I've got several of his decks, and the illustrations are just beautiful. He's an artist, and his deck's really cool. And then we have Archangel Michael, and I used to really, really hate these cards when other readers and stuff that I watch used to use them. I used to be like, ugh. They just, but now I really like them, actually. They're very kind of like gentle messages, and honestly, I've had a week where I've just felt a bit out of sorts, if I'm perfectly honest. And I kind of like the gentleness of them. I kind of like the calming messages. They're not kind of like messages that make you feel guilt or shame. They're not kind of like really blunt messages that snap you, that kind of slap you around the face. I think there's a time and a place for that, but also there's times and there's places where you're like I'm being hard enough on myself right now. Like I don't need anybody else doing that to me as well, you know. So I'm just gonna give these a wee shuffle. So how this is gonna work is I'm gonna pull one card from each deck for Monday, Tuesday, and then another card from each deck for Wednesday, Thursday, and then one final card from each deck for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, and we'll see what comes out. And the reason I wanted to start doing this right now was it's connected actually to the fact that I've had a really shitty week. And I mean, in terms of external events, it hasn't actually been a bad week. It's been a good week, but I just had a couple of things and I let myself get in my head and freak myself out, and as you do, or as I do. And but I'm pretty sure a lot of us do that. And when I do that, sometimes I get into the space of like my thoughts make me really tired, and then when I'm really tired, the tiredness is self-perpetuating, is what I'm trying to say. So it's kind of like, you know, I can rest and I can eat better and I can do all that, but that alone often actually isn't enough to shift the energy, and what actually shifts it is doing something for somebody else, or doing something that's related to sharing my gifts and my skills in the world. But often that's like the absolute last thing that I want to do when I feel like this. But I do notice that sometimes it helps shift my energy. Anyway, right, let's get started. Let me know what you think of this crazy experiment, by the way. Okay, so card for people watching for Monday, Tuesday, energies around them, advice. Oh, not going to take all that because I spilled a whole pile on the floor, and I just want one that comes out very clearly on its own, so that we know that that's the one that's meant for us. Dun, 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 dun. There we go, that's the card for us. So, Monday, Tuesday, we've got Music of the Spheres. Okay, Wednesday, Thursday, we have Past Life. And Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Now, I'm going to confess, I'm not particularly familiar with the meanings of this particular deck, so I may look up a couple of meanings in the book. But also I do, so this is Friday, Saturday, Sunday here, and we've got Aradia. Okay, because this is a deck that I'm not familiar with, I will look up some of the meanings in the book, but also just in general, I do go on the standard meanings of oracle cards and tarot decks, but then I also read it a bit intuitively as well. What I mean by that is I look at kind of the pictures and the images and the words and just anything that comes to mind as I speak about them. And, you know, you can look at the same card sometimes like 10 different times, and it's always meant the same thing. And then on the 11th time you look at it, you get a completely different meaning, because this time it's got a different meaning. So Monday, Tuesday, have confidence. Wednesday, Thursday. Be gentle with yourself. And Friday, Saturday, Sunday, what do we have? Again, not taking those. Dumped a whole pile on the floor. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So, I've got two. I will take those two. So, Friday, Saturday, Sunday from this deck, we've got Honor and Trust Your Feelings and Go Forward Fearlessly. Okay, so let me get settled here and kind of have a look at what we've got. Okay, so Monday, Tuesday, we've got Music of the Spheres and Have Confidence. So what I'm getting is that you're feeling very vulnerable and very sensitive at the moment. If you look at the, or you will be on Monday, Tuesday. You may already be feeling like this now at the weekend, and it just kind of spills over into Monday, Tuesday, like the residue of that energy. So if you look at the person here, she's kind of naked, and so I'm getting the sense that you may be feeling just a bit emotionally naked and sensitive and unsure and hesitant, and you've got the moon there too, and with the moon it's like maybe you're not seeing things fully clearly, because, you know, it's the moon, it's not the sun. So there may be a sense of, I don't know, like you may be perceiving things incorrectly, and therefore thinking that things are worse than they are, or that people are judging you, or that, yeah, but there's definitely a sense, I'm getting that Monday, Tuesday might be a little bit difficult emotionally in terms of just feeling unusually sensitive, feeling, yeah, kind of vulnerable and naked, spiritually, emotionally, and feeling a bit uncomfortable with it. But then we do have this Have Confidence card. So I don't really see that there's any reason necessarily to be feeling this vulnerable. A lot of it may just be, you know, mental stories and old stories and beliefs you're kind of telling yourself about things. So yeah, it's just kind of saying, you know that this will pass, you know, feelings and emotions and stuff like that. It's cyclical, obviously. We don't stay in these energy states permanently, generally. So, you know, with this card, like it's surrounded by water. So, you know, feel the emotions, let them flow through you, but let them flow out and move on, and have confidence that, yeah, you won't be in this energy forever. So Wednesday, Thursday, we move into past life and be gentle with yourself. So Wednesday, Thursday, again, this may be just quite a tricky week emotionally. So Wednesday, Thursday, with the past life card coming out, you've sort of got, you know, those orangey yellow colors on it. So, which is associated with sacral chakra, solar plexus chakra. If you don't know what any of that means, don't stress. But essentially, they're kind of the energy centers within the body where your sense of confidence comes from, your sense of motivation, your sense of creativity, intimacy, and comfort with your own creativity and intimacy and sexuality and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, you just may still not quite be feeling confident. But with the past life card, I get that, I mean, when past life cards come up for me, they're always like a sign that you're healing something. And so that's generally why. you know, your emotions are a bit flat or a bit low, or you're more sensitive because stuff's coming to the surface and bubbling up again, and it may be something that has come up time and time again, and you thought you healed it and you thought you were over it, but you know, like there's another layer. There's another layer that comes up. So it's not that you didn't heal things the first time, but it's like as you heal that, then you uncover little bits and pieces of things that were hiding under the massive layer that you did heal. So yeah, it's just saying be gentle with yourself, be nurturing, be kind, don't judge yourself too harshly, because if you just accept that this is kind of the energy that you're in at the moment and you don't attach all this shame and guilt to it, then you will be able to move out of it. And so then we've got the Aradia card, and honor and trust your feelings and go forward fearlessly. So I'm gonna quickly see what they want to say about this Aradia card. I'm not hugely specific on what it means. Okay, that makes sense. So so what the book says is it's kind of about expanding your belief systems, extending love and compassion to other people, and yourself and all of that. And that kind of makes sense in just even looking at the card. You've got the color green and you've got the color blue, and they're associated with the heart chakra and the throat chakra. So that's obviously about love and feelings, and then you've got honor and trust your feelings here, but it's also about communication, so speaking with love and you know, being willing to engage with people with differing ideas. Yeah, and this card here, honor and trust your feelings, sort of says that, you know, you're protected as you trust your feelings about certain things. So I get sort of the sense of, you know, by the end of the week, I feel like some of the fog or the confusion or the sensitive energy may be starting to fade and move on a bit. And this is going to enable you, I think, to access your intuition a bit more, to see things a bit more clearly, and to rekindle like a bit of a sense of self-love that might have been a little bit dimmed earlier in the week. And so by the end of the weekend, I get the sense that you're going to be feeling a lot more bold, and that you will be going forward into the weekend a bit more fearlessly, a bit more confident. You're going to have clearer thoughts. You're going to have a sense of a clearer plan of action for maybe something that you've been wanting to work on. It could be a creative endeavor. It could be like a tricky relationship with a friend or a family member. I mean, it could be anything. It could be work or anything. But with this card, you know, the past life card and the colors of it being very associated with the sacral chakra, which represents intimacy and creativity, the boldness could be specifically related to, you know, a connection, a friendship or something with a particular person. And it could be related to, you know, some sort of creative project or endeavor that you've been wanting to pursue and have just been feeling kind of confused about, unsure about, doubting your own ability. I kind of get the sense, that, I mean, the start of the week, it seems like your sense of self-confidence is a bit rocky. But the good news is by the end of the weekend, it looks like that energy is going to be moving out. So, I guess just go with the flow a little bit this week. Don't try and force yourself to kind of scale over the mountain and like attack these harder, harsher energies, more difficult energies that you've got at the start of the week. Don't kind of fight against it, because you know you can waste a lot of energy doing that. Just kind of allow it to be, and it will move on of its own accord. That's sort of what I'm getting. So I hope that this is interesting. Let me know what you think. Obviously this is the first time I've done something like this on this page. Okay,